And yes, a very tough game for Melbourne coming up, fighting for a spot in the top 8, coming off an easy win over Brisbane. But Carlton, Mick, one of the big improvers of the season. Of course, yourself being a legend of the Carlton Football Club.
All of 3 games, KV, but most important game for the Melbourne club, probably the most crucial for ages. Here's Stephen Tingay, one of the reasons why they've been in terrific form over the last month or so. He's playing his 9th game for the season. When you get some sort of continuity, it's so important that you consistently play well. But having a look at the Melbourne lineup, I just can't wait to see the battle in the midfield between Ton Viney and Garry against the counterparts of Carlton in Fraser Brown and Brett Rattenby. Body against body, mind against mind. It'll decide who actually wins that particular one-on-one matchups to see if they can supply the forward half of Schwarz, Farmer, Neitz and Garry Lyon so that Melbourne can get enough scoreboard pressure against the Blues today.
And there's Fraser Brown, who's had a terrific season the last 6 weeks. He's been a vital player for the Carlton Football Club, and he'll be one of those midfield players that you've just mentioned, Mick. Let's have a look at the Carlton lineup, and the star of this side is Lance Whitnell, centre-half forward, just 19 years of age. He's booted 38 goals for the season, and David Parkin says that he is a superstar of the future. Justin Murphy is lined up at full forward. I think he may play midfield. He's been very good there this year, along with Ratton coming back into the side, and Peter Dean also back in the team playing his 245th game today. It's a very strong defence. Silvani will have to be at his absolute best today up against the likes of Schwarz, Lyon and Neitz. So it's a big ask today. Melbourne very good last week. We're looking forward to a fantastic game at the MCG between Carlton and Melbourne. We'll take a short break and we'll come back with all the action.
So we're set to go. Umpire Chris Mitchell officiating in the opening bounce. This round 19 clash at the MCG. And it's Carlton who go forward initially, only down towards the half-forward line where it is chopped off. The Demons will be hoping to score quickly. If they can get away to a flying start, Phoebe will be hoping to accommodate that as he gets the left foot kick up towards David Schwarz. Schwarz had front spot, was unable to take it. Farmer from 51 metres shoots in towards full forward. He pulls it away to the left in front of David Neitz. This young man is one of the keys. If he fires up in that forward line, he really can ignite the Melbourne setup. Hogg has the job on him deep in Melbourne's attacking zone. Carlton defence trying to work it out. Not very far. Garry Lyon, 1-2 grabs in front of Bradley. And he's going to take the kick directly in front, 25 metres out.
In a couple of interesting matchups in the forward half of Melbourne. Of course, Garry Lyon's picked up by Glenn Manton. Neitz has been picked up by Silvani. Here's the percentage spot just in front of the pack. Craig Bradley isn't his direct opponent. He's being picked up by Matthew Phoebe. Very important in that part of the ground to play in front.
Garry Lyon directly in front, runs over to Leoncelli and says, thank you for that because we're on the board.
Yeah, there's some certainly interesting one-on-one matchups all over the ground, but it's just having a look at the Melbourne forward line, thinking that's where they're going to get a lot of scoreboard pressure on the opposition. Michael Sexton's also got the job on David Schwarz. McKay's picked up Anthony McDonald. And the interesting one, as Sandy's already spoke about, is the Matthew Hogg and Jeff Farmer one-on-one matchup in the forward 50 for the Carlton team.
Great start by Melbourne. Garry Lyon booting his 30th goal for the season. He's a key forward along with Schwarz and Neitz, and also the Wizard, who was, we've just been told, has been picked up by Hogg. Here's Fraser Brown, just rockets the ball out wide to young Massey. Had a touch of the fumbles, back to Rice. Cool under pressure towards centre-half forward. He was looking for Porter out in front, and he's got it. So one of the young guns for the Carlton Football Club made his debut late last year and looks to have a future. Along with Matthew Allen, he'll be called upon to do a lot of the ruck work as well as play key position from 55 metres. Porter unloads to the goal square. Chance for the high flyers. Ingerson went up as well. So did Whitnell. And finally the ball through for a minor score.
And Anthony Ingerson's got the job on Lance Whitnell, who has been in scintillating form over the last month. Interesting job and very important for him to take charge of that particular one-on-one matchup.
Well, he's booted 38 goals for the season. Whitnell, as Stephen Phoebe pinpoints it to Tingay, who was best on the ground last week against Brisbane. Also spent a bit of time on the interchange bench, but he's in great form. Leoncelli, responsible for the Demons' first goal from inside the centre square to centre half forward. Here's Allen getting back. Got his hands on the share and it wasn't paid. Pack of players at 50. Silvani shoveled the ball out to Hogg, who goes to ground. Over the top. Silvani falls on top of his teammate, shielding from giving away a free kick. And they'll ball it up. Clever play then by Stephen Silvani.
Yeah, terrific play. He's just experienced and he just knows to do the right thing at the percentage time, and that's the reason why he's been recognised as the full-back of the century. Terrific player.
Melbourne by 5 points. Schwarz wins it. Leoncelli, Klein, McKay through. He also runs into a brick wall on that defensive 50. Picks himself up as the vet from Narracourt, and there will be another bounce.
It's interesting at this stop-play situation, Sandy. Craig Bradley, who's being matched up by Matthew Phoebe, has actually taken upon himself to push forward, and he is now playing out of the goal square in the conventional full-forward position.
Neats. Swings around. Farmer gives it away. Oh, they're in trouble now. Should be gone. It was socket off the ground. Somehow they're going to get away with it. White is ridden into the ground. He is slammed up. Viney through strongly. He is crushed to the ground too by Big Porter. It's tough and it's tight, and it's the way it should be. It's the way their last encounter finished. Very, very tough. Shanahan eventually picks it up. Kicks towards the right half forward. Down into the zone once again. Picked up by Ratman. There's going to be a free kick.
Lyon held it out the football, Sandy.
Garry Lyon, 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, gets another chance.
Just on that occasion, you've seen the experience of Garry Lyon. Just held his ground. He just gave the ball back inside, knowing that there'd be an overlapping player. But the defensive group for Carlton just finessed in that situation and gave away a free kick that was certainly there.
You're spot on, Mick. The word you used then, experience. You just see exactly what he wanted to do.
One already, as KB said, 30 for the season, 413 goals in his career. Been a mighty player for the Demons. There's another one. To the line, to the Melbourne.
Yeah, terrific start to the Melbourne team. Just what the club require, because you probably put down on paper this is the most important club game that they've had for a long period of time. They've got the chance to qualify, to keep their aspirations alive. They must win this game today and win handsomely, not only to gain some percentage, but also to give their chances or keep their chances alive. Garry Lyon's kicking goals, along with Neats and Schwarz. They have certainly got a potent forward line.
Demons by 11 points, 2 straight goals to 1 behind. The whistle is gone. It's going to Carlton. So Matthew Allen feeds it off to Camporelli, who was very strong before. Some heavy tackles, some strong body work to the half-forward line. Ingerson caught behind Whitnell, stands his ground in front. Clever play, rockets the ball out wide. Carlton across the half-forward line, goes short. Beaumont's got it, gives it across to Camporelli. The lead is on Bradley. He's got Matthew Phoebe to beat. Punched the ball away. Bradley tries to kick it off the ground. Rigoni was there. So's Uze under pressure.
Free kick
is going to Melbourne.
For holding the man, Kev.
Rigoni from inside the defensive 50. Goes very short. The ball's fed off. Once more to Viney. Rockets ball wide. Didn't hit a target. Rice does well. Finds his mark in McKay, who goes wide to Camporelli. From the centre square, looking for Whitnell again. He'll be the target up forward. He's a brilliant player. He booted 6 goals last week. This could bounce through. This is going to bounce through. Oh, he's got it.
And you can certainly see the way he put it across the line of his foot that he certainly meant that a la Peter Dacos goal. He just let the ball do the work for him. He just, terrific shot on goal. Certainly meant it. But you just go to show a good forward always comes and presents himself, and once again Whitnell in front of himself. Just got the ball across his line of his leg. Terrific shot on goal. Good stuff also there by White, who didn't allow the goal to be touched.
Sensational goal by Lance Whitnell, and from 45 metres out too. What a start. So we're back to a 5-point margin. Allen in the middle, contesting the centre with young Jeffrey White. Ratton out of the middle. The Blues go forward. Ratton's kick is wide. Whitnell and Ingerson give chase. Don't tell me he'll do it again. He's got a free kick. He was held. But he's a little further out, John.
Yeah, this one will be a little bit more difficult, although it's a deliberate shot. And Lance Whitnell just aware enough not to take possession of the ball, and he'd already sort of tempted the tackler.
Good pass, good lead, and Ronnie DiIulio will be hoping to cap it off. Hasn't missed a game this year, as Ron. Pressure in the coaches' boxes this afternoon. Neil Danaher knows it's so simple, the equation. They have to win. Carlton has David Parkin re-signed Another 2 years. He'll be pumped. I'm sure his side will be too. Ronnie for the Blues second. He just chips away. He might have just snuck it home though. So Delio gets his first and his 14th for the year, and Carlton stay in touch.
Yeah, once again we've seen the terrific awareness there by Lance Whitnell. Not only did he find front position to get rewarded the free kick, but he just got back quickly from the mark, and Ron DeLulio with his leg speed ran into the hole quickly, directly opposed by Darren Cowell, who's got that one-on-one matchup out on centre wing. The good ball usage gave DeLulio a chance to kick a goal for the Blues.
And David Parkin on screen goes for the phone. Re-signed for 2 years for the Blues, and right through to the end of 2000. So the Blues by a point after Melbourne got away to a good start with the first 2 goals. Adam Uze from the edge of the centre square, and there's Hogg. He's got the job playing on the Wizard. He got 6 last week, goes short, puts Beaumont under a lot of pressure, paddles the ball long in front. Numbers might win out. The whistle is gone. High tackle, John.
Yeah, high tackle paid, Kev, but could easily have been paid for pushing the back anyway.
He's lost it. He's lost it.
He's lost it. Free kick being reversed for taking a bit of the law into his own hands and telling the umpire that he thought that was a bit weak.
Well, Adam Uze has been one of Melbourne's most consistent players this year. He was looking for Schwarz and chipping in as Ratton. Back in the side today, along with Peter Dean, the veteran, finds Camporelli. He's had a big season. Split 18 goals for the year. He's played mainly midfield. Camporelli missed a lot of last year with glandular fever. Inside 50, a big pack of players. The Blues need a crummer. Phoebe goes to ground. Stephen Phoebe picked up by Allen. Those quick hands. Wins it out to Sexton all the way down from the half-back line. This could bounce through as well. Viney gets back, runs it over the line.
And Secco on that occasion certainly had Dean Rice free of the ball, only 20 metres out from goal. He took it upon himself to have a shot on goal. Certainly missed Dean Rice. Would have been the easiest of goals for Carlton if he had found him.
Cowell, the kicker, comes back in. It's okay. Leoncelli has it. Back he goes to Cowell. Oh, danger signs are up here, however, for Gaspar. Caught. Ratton taken over the line. There'll be a throw-in. Good start, though. Peter Dean warming up on the sidelines. Melbourne also preparing to make a change with James McDonald wearing 23. Standing by to get his chance. Ingerson comes over the top. Phoebe and Brown, the 2 number 20s. Brown has to beat a couple of them because Leoncelli is there with Phoebe. Well, he'll say he was looking for Phoebe, and the umpire says that's correct. Throw it in.
Exactly as you called it, Sandy. I mean, it looked as though he may have been trying to handball it to Phoebe, so in that situation, the umpire will give him the benefit of the doubt.
Gaspar is off, and on is James McDonald for Melbourne. And we'll have another throw in Carlton's left forward pocket. Goal so far to Whitnell, a sensational goal, and DeLio. Garry Lyon has Melbourne's 2.
Well, a chance for Carlton. The boundary throw in just 30 metres around from goal. Porter got his hands on the ball. DeLio tried to half take it, missed it, taken away by Viney. So the skipper pumps the ball wide. He's looking for Tingay. The race is on. Young White against Tingay. And finally the ball's taken over the line for a boundary throw in. Stephen Tingay on screen.
It's interesting to see that Chris Massey's actually got the job on negating the influence of Stephen Tingay today out on the southern stand wing.
Jeff White. The high leaping Jeff White down to Tingay. Ratton put his body on the line, then holds the ball in. And they'll ball it up. 2-2 Carlton. Melbourne 2 straight goals. Ball up a good 75 metres out from Carlton's goal. In front of the great southern stand. Chance for Stephen Phoebe. The ball's kicked off the ground. Comes back to Viney. Lays over the top of the ball. Right over the top. And again they'll bounce.
KB, it's really interesting to watch the cat and mouse tactics employed by Melbourne and also Carlton in centre field. It's the matchups. Viney's trying to get to Fraser Brown. Ratton's obviously trying to follow Viney around, and here's Leoncelli on screen. He's trying to actually negate Ratton's influence.
And Peter Dean comes on the ground for Beaumont. Murphy was held. He's got the free kick.
And there's another matchup that Neil Danaher has seen fit to go with. Shane Woden's got the job on Justin Murphy.
Played good football this year, Justin Murphy. Started his career with the Tigers. Whitnell's the target. Ingerson goes the big fist from behind. Good defensive play. And again, they'll toss it back in.
It's also interesting to see the tactic employed by David Park and in Mark Porter, thinking the height would be a critical factor in front of goal. He's getting him right up the ground, getting Jamie Shanahan away from familiar territory.
Brown tries to get through some heavy traffic. Phoebe making sure he's going nowhere, and Viney is there as well. A couple of strong men in Brown and Viney of their respective sides. As we saw Jim Steins just waiting his chance from the sidelines. Viney and Brown still at it. Has the makings, though, of a good contest, this one this afternoon. This first 10 or 15 minutes is any indication. Good, tight pressure football. Brown again tries to get through the hand pass over the top. Goes towards Phoebe. That was Stephen Phoebe. Back towards centre wing we go. Neats beaten by Silvani. Puts the hand pass out in front of Brown. He looks down towards the half-forward line. Whitnell and Ingerson. Pressure on this Demon defence. They're going to be equal to it once again. It's pushed across the line. Wobbly old punt kick by McDonald. Still on the defensive 50. White goes to McKay. Outside 50. McKay looks inside and just passes to straighten up Rice a little. He's at half-forward, directly in front. Can go across the ground to Brown. Better be careful because Phoebe's closing. The two number 20s now. Brown's got to tidy up here and does so to Murphy. Back to Brown. Haven't really made a lot of this as the moment. Too far for Hogg. Rice is at the back. This time a little bit of space. Kicks in towards the forward line. Allen out on the lead. And this time he takes them up.
Took them a long while to get to where they wanted to get to, but they worked it out well. They didn't sort of get discouraged with the over ball use. Fraser Brown's cool head, getting the ball back into the centre corridor to give Rice the opportunity to get the ball forward to the height of Allen was very critical.
He's done that so well too the last 3 or 4 weeks, pushing forward there, and Jeff White was just caught out.
Hasn't missed a game, this young man. So far this year, one of 6 Carlton boys who've played in every one. And his goal kicking's all right too. That's his 13th for the season.
Yeah, the play actually worked out fairly well for Carlton on that occasion. Dean Rice tried to find Fraser Brown on the other side of the ground. It's just amazing when you change direction. It's better off going short, probably square, rather than getting the ball with a bit of length, because you can always give the opposition a chance to dispossess. But it was just weight and numbers that got him out of that situation. They got the ball back into the centre corridor. Good mark by Allen. More importantly, good conversion.
Well, the Blues' good form continues. Big win over Adelaide. Lost a nail-biter last week to the Bombers. Now throwing it down to the Demons, who are just outside the top 8 on percentage. There's young Massey. Just got a bit better as the season has gone on to Murphy. Plenty of run in the legs. Drills it. Beaumont's just come back onto the ground with Peter Dean going off. So that was a quick change. Here's the loose player. Whitnell's in front. Good punch away by McDonald, taken by Fraser Brown, bullocked his way through, caught and all tied up. Chance for the Blues, 30 metres out from goal. They pile on top and they'll ball it up.
One can already sense, KB, that it's going to be a real body-on-body contest. Every midfielder is really charging in at the drop, at the full loose ball. As we see there, Cow went hard for it, Porter went hard, also Camporelli. Terrific stuff, terrific approach by all players.
So Porter pushing and shoving, doing well against Jeff White. Viney dribbles the ball towards the boundary line. Happy to see it over. I thought it was good play before, Mick, when Matthew Allen came down. They kicked the ball to him because Jeff White hovers around, gets in the way of the key forwards. Now, if Carlton are going to play through Matthew Allen, it'll just keep Jeff White in 2 minds.
Yep, terrific team stuff.
See White there. That was a great tap down to Stephen Phoebe. Gives it across to Todd Viney, picking up touches inside the centre square. Garry Lyon, clever play over the top. Needed a run-up. It's all Carlton as Viney goes in very, very hard. Rice comes away with the ball. They can raffle this. Murphy already looking a dangerous player. Plenty of time to recover. Unfortunately, Allen went to ground. Time for think music. Gives it back to Murphy, who just casually comes around the centre wing again, down towards Whitnell. Pushed Ingerson under the ball. That was good play. Whitnell from almost an impossible angle across the face of goals. Been marked by Woden.
8.5 minutes left. First term here at the MCG.
That's certainly one of the features of Lance Whitnell's game. He can get his direct opponent underneath the flight of the ball, but also keep his balance and run onto the loose ball.
Woden goes short to Viney. It's back to Woden again. to the outer side. This has been a good start by Carlton. Uze is away. Now what can they do here? Into the middle he goes and finds Anthony McDonald. Further forward down towards Garry Lyon territory, beaten Glenn Manton.
Yeah, terrific mark by Manton. He's very good on a one-on-one situation. He certainly backs his own instincts, as we see here. Most players would have decided to punch, but he kept his awareness, kept his balance in the aerial duel. Terrific mark at a one-on-one situation.
Been very good, Manton. Kicks out towards Murphy. Phoebe is there. Partly smothered, so it'll be a play on call. And away comes McDonald in towards the forward line once again. White is at the back. He's claimed, loses it. Lyon gets it out towards Viney, tries to take him on. Can't get through, but does get the hand pass out. Pressure on the Melbourne forward line once again. Tingay can take it, but he's outside 50. Pulls it back. It's high. It's long. And it's straight. It's a mighty goal.
Yeah, that is just sensational play by the Melbourne team. In traffic was Viney, who got the ground level ball in his hands. Most clubs now decide to handball the back to sort of handball the ball backwards to sort of give their teammates some space, but Viney just gets it forward knowing that most players will run forward in that part of the ground. And more often than not, it will be your teammate who runs onto the ball. On that occasion, it was Schwarz. He kept his hands free. Then he executed the perfect handball to Tingay, and what a terrific long shot on goal across his body. That is a sensational kick by a penetrating player.
And that's the way Tingay has been playing in recent weeks. He's been kicking goals from a long way out. That's lifted the Demons. Viney out of the centre square, again winning the ball. Pushing and shoving down there. Sexton gets his fist to the ball. Chance for McDonald, also Sexton. He'll paddle the ball towards the line.
Yeah, pretty tough conditions for the forwards, especially the Melbourne, because obviously the wind is very swirly and so players are starting to get under the ball.
So we've got current temperature of 15. That's the expected maximum today. It's a beautiful conditions at the MCG for football. McKay all tied up is dumped. Again, they'll bounce it. McKay. Again, coming off a terrific season last year. He's been one of the stalwarts of the Carlton defence, along with Silvani and Peter Dean, the veteran who's on the bench at the moment. Chance for Rigoni, short kick, again Camporelli tackling very, very strongly. Ties up Garry Lyon.
And already that's been a feature of the game. Both sides are prepared to really lay the tackle, but more importantly, keep their arms pinned against the opponent they're laying the tackle against, creating a stop-play situation.
Umpire Chris Mitchell to bounce. Schwarz to do the ruck work. Beaten by Allen, but taken away again by Viney. What a good player he's been early. Big fist away by Silvani at ground level. Pounced on by Leoncelli. Got the bounce he wanted. Feeds the ball off wide. McDonald fumbled. Rice doesn't. Good hands to Camporelli. Got the ball across to Bradley, who loves to run with the ball. He's in great form. Pinpoints it to the edge of the centre square. The Blues playing good football. Taken by Sexton towards centre half forward. Here comes Whitnell out in front. Ingerson again from behind went the big thump. Chance for Fraser Brown. McDonald, Anthony goes short. So on the rebound to Shanahan. He's finding himself a long way out from goals. Taken by Uze, pumps it up towards the half forward line.
He's looking for Garry Lyon. Right there with him is Glenn Manton. A cry, ball goes up. Play on is eventually the call. Sexton is that half-back. Gets through and eventually wobbles an old punt kick up towards the centre of the ground. Clean bowls a couple of them. Socket back towards the centre. Scoring is not easy at the moment. Melbourne through McDonald should go forward. Up towards centre half forward. Silvani is at the back and it's an effective spoil. Manton's waiting down, but here he is, the wizard, Jeffrey Farmer. Tumbles the punt. It bounces, and it's a goal. You never know what he's going to do when he gets it, Mick, but you know it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, he's just a sensation. He just makes something out of nothing, Sandy. Very creative in that confined area, as we see here on screen. It's just terrific play. Got front and square to the contest between Neitz and Silvani. Great disciplined stuff by Silvani. Just to keep his balance, have an awareness of where the goal is. Didn't have much time to think about it, but just relays the ball across his right boot, over his left shoulder. Terrific finish by a quality player.
Farmer gets his first. Anstey is on the ground now for Carlton. And the Demons answer as Big Jim Steins wins it. Brown Can't take it out of the middle. He had a couple of assistants there. Anstey trying to get into the thick of things. Camporelli's been very busy. Tumbles a punt up towards half forward. Bradley has it belted away. McDonald's waiting down. He's in trouble. Stood his ground well, though. Gives it off to Uze. Adam Uze looks towards centre half forward. Lyon couldn't take it on the half volley. Rice is claimed. He's ripped into the ground. And he'll take a free kick.
Correct decision too, Sandy. I mean, there's no doubt that was a very, very crude tackle, and just Dean Rice has got the footy and just buried by Garry Lyon, and if that's not a push in the back, then nothing is.
Just a bit high over that left arm coming over the shoulder. Murphy pinpoints it. His teammate under a lot of pressure in Sexton. Garry Lyon pops one in the back. Must be a free kick.
And that's the same again.
That'll be a free kick.
Yeah, that's exactly the same again, KB. He actually did signal a push in the back, even though that left arm was a bit over the shoulder for the last one. But that's a very, very similar decision for the umpire to make. But the same umpire refused to pay it on the second occasion.
Yeah, the fans have just seen this on the big screen, Nick.
There's no doubt Scotty Camporelli just tries to bury Garry Lyon. It's very indiscriminate and should be penalised.
Hogg from the back edge of the centre square unloads a big bomb to centre half forward. Again, you'll find Whitnell always playing in front. Phoebe comes through hard. Stephen Phoebe again a loose ball going to ground. Beaumont in there for Carlton. White just couldn't quite keep his feet. The Demons come away. Woden from the half back line. The Demons lead by 4 points. Under 4 minutes left in this first quarter. They're playing for a spot in the top 8, looking for Schwarz. All man handled by Sexton. He wants the free kick. He gets the free kick.
And it's interesting, while there's a little bit of a lull in the game, when Jimmy Steins has come on the ground, Mark Porter's gone into the ruck position against him. Matthew Allen's gone forward, picked up by Shanahan.
Here's Porter backing back. Here comes Neitz. Well, he booted a couple of goals last week. He's been in really good form. It's been a terrific comeback after breaking his ankle very early in the season. Here's a thumping kick. It'll be from 55 metres out, but he's capable of kicking this. Neitz, you can see right from the point of the centre square. Gives it both barrels. Lands in the danger zone. Thumped away. Matthew Phoebe traps it well. Squeezed up on the boundary line. The goal face opens. It's missed.
I think it was this game earlier in the year, wasn't it, that Neitz had that problem?
Out at Optus Oval.
Yes, the 2-point thriller. At the moment, we've got a 5-point ball game. Bradley to bring it back into play with under 3 minutes remaining. Massey was interfered with. He's going to get a free kick. And Chris Massey. Exciting times for him coming through the draft last year from Dandenong. Sexton kicks towards left half forward. Whitnell pleading with the umpire as his duel with Ingerson continues to unfold, and there'll be a throw-in. In front of the Melbourne members, they see their side leading by 5 points. Allen in late, trying to flick it over the back against Steins. Woden is there also. Brown has it shoveled out by Ratton in towards the forward line. The diving mark is not taken. Silvani can't pick it up. Under plenty of pressure from McDonald. Poke wide and out of bounds. It spins on the outer side. Jamie Shanahan defending for the D's.
Silvani charged forward. That's why it looks like he's in the full forward part of the ground for Carlton. But it was David Nietzsche decided to stay back. Silvani charged forward, and at the moment he's still unopposed. More or less a cat-and-mouse tactic by Silvani.
Won by Porter, that throw-in. Anstey got it away to Brown. Brown pokes it high, and standing his ground is Ratton to have a shot. 35 metres out, directly in front.
Yeah, Ratton just drifting forward, reading the flow to the ball exceptionally well. Todd Viney's gone to the half-forward line. His direct opponent, who started the game actually on him, McDonald, is responsible for Ratton in that part of the ground. You've got to play a lot tighter when the Carlton team win the ball at those stop situations.
Starting to pick up a few possessions. Fraser Brown's had a busy first quarter. So too Scott Camporelli. And that's not a good kick. Away sadly to the left. He wouldn't be happy with that. So a minute and a half remaining. 6 effective scoring shots to 5. Melbourne lead by 4 points.
Well, Brett Ratton's only kicked the 3 goals for the season. That was a bad miss towards the end of this first quarter. This would have to be a good kick. Leoncelli tried to crash his way through Fraser Brown, who's had it 11 times in this opening term. Rice over the top as well. And they'll ball it up 40 metres out from Carlton's goal. So the Demons by 4 points. See the time clock just down virtually to a minute left. By the time they bounce this ball. So a big chance for Carlton. Whitnell got his hands on the ball. Fraser Brown all tied up by Woden. And again they'll bounce.
Neil Danaher's already reacted to the influence this man on screen's had on the game. Fraser Brown, he's had a lot of the footy. He's been directly picked up now by Shane Woden, trying to nullify his influence on this game.
So Jimmy Steins is on the ground, but beaten that time by Porter, taken away by Ingerson. Just casually kicks the ball back towards the centre of the ground. Hogg against Farmer, who's kicked one, taken by Neitz. Tries to feed the ball out. Some strong arm tackles inside the centre square. Trying to crash his way through as Woden did it well. The ball comes back out. That was Tingay. Been pinched by Bradley. A big chance for Carlton. The time clock ticking away. Rigoni, tough and durable. Pumps the ball out wide and finds Matthew Phoebe. So on the rebound, the Melbourne side to centre half forward. Viney was there. Too much carry on the ball. Taken away by Schwarz. Does a big arc. All tied up. Rockets the ball out wide to Cow. Under pressure. Back to Schwarz. Unloads a big bomb, but the siren has beaten him as it floats through for a goal. So the time clock ticked away, and Melbourne at quarter time 4-1-25, Carlton 3-3-21.
All the same, it was terrific to see David Schwarz come and attack the ball, but it just goes to show the D value of trying to do a U-turn. You've got to look for the overlapping play on that occasion. If you had to give them the ball off quickly, all of a sudden they may have scored a goal.
So we're set to go in the second quarter. The 27-year-old Clark from South Australia, Troy Burton, will be the man in white to get things going.
Contact with the face in the ruck contest, so free kick against Matthew Allen.
To be taken by big Jeff White. Melbourne to go forward. The start of this second quarter. Straight down the middle. Farmers at the back of Hogg. Schwarz gets through, pokes the hand pass out towards Neitz. He needs to bend this back. The left footer, which way will it bounce? Spinning away. Hogg tidies up nicely and neatly. Coming away towards McKay. Spills the mark. He's going to have to go again. Almost gave away the free kick there to Anthony McDonald, and in fact has.
Nothing wrong with that decision, John.
Not a lot wrong with a lot of them, actually.
Away goes McDonald, 55 metres out, has a bit of a sniff, but is away to the right, and in fact goes out of bounds on the full.
Just one decision at a time, John.
I'll keep up to date with the interchange on the benches down here. Steins, Collins, Gasper and Smoker for Melbourne, and Steve Locke, Hines and Beaumont for Carlton.
Thank you, Dipper. Silvani again, bringing it back into play. Michael Sexton. Been a very consistent player for Carlton. An All-Australian. He kicks towards centre wing. A big pack of players here. Ratton works it down towards half forward. Tingay. Where's Massey? He'll be right on his hammer. There he is. Just about gets him. Pokes the hand pass away in towards the centre. Bradley pressuring at Phoebe. Schwarz Neitz around the body. Assistance from Schwarz. He goes up towards Lyon and Farmer. They are the 4 key forwards. Now, Ronnie's got a problem.
It's Adam White, actually, who's got a problem.
White it is, yes. And he's coming off the ground. Dipper will check on that injury. So, Beaumont may be the one to come on. That's disappointment, though, for White and for Carlton. More on that a little bit later. Phoebe through, but without it. Schwarz, a fierce tackle. Looks like Hogg that he's got in a headlock. And there'll be another bounce.
So a big chance for Melbourne. They lead by 4 points, 25 plays, 21. Just the ball up 15 metres out from goal. Here's a chance for Garry Lyon. Got the bounce he wanted. Screws it around the corner. Great vision and finds Leoncelli.
Yeah, that's just terrific play by a great inspirational leader, knowing that he's not the captain of the Melbourne club. But that's what you need in that part of the ground, just a cool head in a tight situation. Could have blazed away a goal and had a haphazard shot himself, but just assess the options. Terrific usage to give Leoncelli an easy shot on goal.
Well, Garry Lyon's booted 2 goals himself. Both coming, of course, in the first quarter. He's just kicked the 1 goal for the season, Leoncelli, former old Zabs player, along with James McDonald and Anthony McDonald. And from point-blank range, he kicks a goal.
One can sense at this already early stages of the game, just the perception is Melbourne look like scoring more efficiently when they go forward, whereas at the other end of the ground, Carlton are really workmanlike. It has to be Whitnell, has to get his hands on the ball, or even Allen when he goes forward, or even for that part of the ground, Porter has to take some marks. But at this stage, the Melbourne team are far more effective in their ball use and also kicking goals.
Leoncelli gets his first and Melbourne's 5th. They sneak away to a 10-point lead. They appear, Mick, to have more scoring options too.
Yeah, they certainly do, Sandy, with the likes of Schwarz, Neitz, also Lyon, and the ground crumbing ability of Jeff Farmer.
Beaumont to Bradley. What can he do? Down towards the forward line. That was better. Peter Dean, a renowned defender for the Carlton Footy Club, has taken the mark. And the man who made his debut in 1984 has a chance to kick his 41st career goal.
And that's a typical Carlton pattern. They call it fat to thin side. All the congestion's over this side of the ground. The forward leads into the open side of the ground. Vacant space. That's the reason why Dean lent there. Bradley was aware of that situation, kicked it accurately. Good team play.
Peter Dean shoots for goal. Carlton again close the gap. It's back to 4 points.
Yeah, good play by the Carlton team. It's Craig Bradley who has to probably play in the midfield, take on his direct opponent in Phoebe and really generate some run for that midfield, because it's all body against body with Viney and Ratton and Brown, Rigoni in that midfield setup. It needs the overlapping awareness and creativity from Bradley for Carlton to be a chance in this game. Good ball usage, found Dean on the lead, good conversion.
Peter Dean on screen. Just his 5th goal for the season. His 245th game today, just his 10th for the year. Real veteran, premiership player. So Carlton just keep chipping away. Fraser Brown, a great first term, 11 possessions. Back to Bradley, a fresh air shot. Camporelli's been very physical in the game so far. As the Blues come forward, Massey pumps it inside 50, looking for Whitnell. He's been their target up forward. Uze goes to ground. Good tackle by Ratton. Shanahan, he'll be happy to just paddle this straight back over the line.
KB, we saw Adam White come off the ground. Looked like a break to his wrist, but the good news is he's only got a dead arm. He was hitting in the nerve high up in the shoulder.
So there's a good chance then, Dip, that he may come back onto the field.
Spot on, Kevin.
Julio overran the ball. Ratton, those quick hands to Whitnell, the teenager, to Fraser Brown. Caught this time. Good tackle by Leoncelli. Comes back to Whitnell, try to barge his way through. Camporelli to McKay. Can't bend it back. And through for a minor score.
In this early stage of the second quarter, you can see Carlton have restructured their forward line. They've obviously gone for more speed rather than the height factor. They've brought Peter Dean onto the ground. Porter's come off the ground, complemented by the likes of Jake Anstey and also Ron DeLulio as being the crumbing players up forward.
(31 plays 28). Stephen Phoebe has played every game this year. Goes straight down the middle to Rigoni. Off he goes to Viney. Now he's got to give away a little ground here because Camporelli was right on his hammer and he did it pretty well. Ingerson's in trouble too. Back to Rigoni. They're going nowhere fast at the moment. Pokes it out wide towards McDonald. A little bit of time as he goes longer towards centre wing. Silvani is out in front of Neitz. He's got Murphy there to lend him good support. He hugs the boundary line, but it's going to be okay. Kept in play and a chance now for the Blues to go up towards half forward. Chopped off by Rigoni. Back to Viney. Chips towards the middle. And Shane Woden takes the mark. Here's Shanahan. He's in the centre of the ground. Goes with the left foot. Up towards Schwarz. Edged out of it. Massey has a bad bounce. Palmer also has a bad bounce. The Wizard can't pick it up. Massey goes again. Tries to scoop it out to Sexton. Tingay is in there as well. Leoncelli also. And finally Brown comes in over the top and that'll be a bounce.
Very well done by Matthew Hogg, wasn't it? Just to trap the ball and make sure that the opportunity to score for Melbourne wasn't there.
He also by Massey, who overplayed that situation. He could have been conscious of Tingay, but really committed himself to that initial contest between Schwarz and also Sexton.
Yeah, great work by the youngster in Massey. He's not out of it yet, however. Schwarz, ripped to the ground. Again, a cry ball. Sorry off the ground for a goal. Garry Lyon. Silvani is saying, I got a touch. Garry Lyon will go down as having kicked his third goal early in the second term.
John, would it be more to do with the actual tackle of this?
Yeah, it is. I think they're appealing that he took too long to dispose of the footy, Mick, as you've said. And here we see Schwarz spun around. The ball comes out in the tackle, and I think it's reasonable to call play on there. And the Carlton defenders were just not alert enough to get onto that loose ball.
So 3 goals to Garry Lyon there. Stephen Silvani, he'd be most unhappy. That tackle on Schwarz. The Blues felt that they should have got hold of the ball. Allen out of the centre square, so the Blues straight away into attack. It's a high ball to the half-forward line. Beaumont trapped underneath. Dean tried to crash his way through. All tied up. Cow's in there as well. And they'll ball it up on the front edge of the centre square. Peter Dean started on the interchange bench. Has kicked the goal at full forward in this term. Against Shanahan. So White against Allen, taken away by Matthew Phoebe, goes straight up in the air. Viney, what a game he's having. From the edge of the centre square, belts the ball long. Silvani running with the flight of the ball. Here comes Garry Lyon once more. He's got it. Tackled this time by Manton. Loose ball to Rice under pressure. Numbers win out. Silvani finds Murphy. He's been handy as well. Chips it short and finds Beaumont. So the Blues on the rebound. They trail by 9 points. From the half-back line, he finds Rice. Another short player. On the edge of the square is Ratton. Picking up possessions. Kicks the centre half forward. A low trajectory kick. Cowell takes it on the second grab. Tackled by Dulio. Again, numbers win out. Melbourne. Fierce across half-back. The ball comes back to Schwarz. Kicks the ball to space. Looking for Neitz. He's got it.
They've taken every opportunity to play on from the half-back line through the middle.
Yeah, terrific call, but that's exactly what they're doing across half-back. They're just looking for inviting the overlapping player to come. As we see here, there's the finishing product of that play. Schwarz finding Neitz. Initially, it was a quick hands by Cowell, real awareness of the overlap, and that's the reason why they got out of that situation when they're only 50 metres from the Carlton goal. Terrific team building stuff from the Melbourne team.
Got those 3 key forwards, Schwarz, Lyon and Neitz. A lot of marking power and mobility. Schwarz just outside of 50. Unloads. It's going to land in the square. Big fist of Sexton pushes it through for a behind.
Yeah, good disciplined play there by Sexton. So he can do in that situation. There's nothing worse from the coach's point of view. If a mark's taken and concede a goal from that part of the ground, had to do the disciplined thing and punch it across the goal line.
Oh, Jeff White was a big flyer, Mick. Was unable to take the mark. Murphy in trouble. Runs into Viney, and that spells major trouble. Sexton, short little kick, Ratton, right smack bang in the middle of the MCG. 10 points in it. Carlton hanging on. And like the next one, he pokes it out in front of Camberelli. Uze's there with him, and he's pretty quick. Uze got rid of the ball. It's over the line, and Camberelli continues to ask the question.
Would you ask the question there, John?
I think maybe Scotty Camberelli should concentrate on what he's supposed to do rather than worrying about the umpire. I think there was certainly an attempt to handball there, and I don't see it as a problem.
Here's Viney. Picking up possessions at will, Todd Viney at the moment. Possession number 14.
If they're appealing for deliberate out of bounds, then I think the players should be aware enough to know that it is very unusual that the umpires will pay it, and it's only when it is blatantly obvious that that's what they're trying to do.
Porter's wearing 11. White is wearing 34. McKay through but without it. Look at Brown pounce on that ball. Then Leoncelli pounce on him. Brown also has been very effective. 13 possessions for the Carlton midfielder. Porter wins it. The umpire almost lost his feet there, but he's going to be okay. There's Woden in trouble. Gets out of it. Is able to go again for Melbourne. Down towards the danger zone. Lyon couldn't take it. Sexton was in there. Silvani was grabbed. Hogg goes to ground. The pressure's on now. Palmer's away. The Wizard, as KB calls in, has kicked another one.
Sensational awareness there by Farmer. He's just a delight to watch, this young kid. He just has that ability to just get out of traffic so easily. So it gives himself enough opportunity to poise himself and balance himself to have a shot on goal. Was that a free kick? That's probably the question.
Well, I think it is, Mick. I mean, Garry Lyon's intention there was to get rid of Matthew Allen in the first instance, and then maybe if he was lucky, then go for the mark. And his objective is supposed to be to go for the mark at all times in those marking contests. So a free kick in that situation is reasonable.
Ultimately, though, John, I think it takes away the great one act of play by Jeff Farmer. Terrific goal.
2 goals to Jeff Farmer. He's kicked 26 for the season, coming off a 6-goal haul last week against Brisbane, so he's in hot form. McKay gets the ball back out. Oh, crunch to the ground. That time was Peter Dean, the veteran. That would have hurt. Massey, who's got the job on Tingay, tries to drill it and finds Beaumont. So he's 45 metres out. He's been a dead-eye dick this year. So let's have a look at Peter Dean here. After playing 245 games, this you don't need. We've
seen a few of these over recent weeks, KB, where we'll wait for this shot at goal, I suppose, before we comment.
Oh, he's kicked 8 goals, 1 for the season, Beaumont. He's been a very accurate kick. I reckon he's pushed this right through for a behind.
KB, could we just go back to that great goal from Farmer? I mean, Matthew Hogg's done nothing wrong today. He certainly has covered him quite well, but those 2 times he's got away 2 goals.
Well, that's why he's such a dangerous player, Dip. Farmer. He's so quick. And just give him a sniff. And more importantly, he's a goal kicker. So Cowell drills it, finds Leoncelli to Cowell, who kicks to the centre wing. This is a good build-up, looking for White. Whittenhall did well, forced the contest. Great recovery by White. Back to Stephen Phoebe on the edge of the centre square to centre half forward. Here comes Schwarz out in front, pushed out that time by Sexton. The Wizard runs in. Off target.
That's probably one area of concern for Matthew Hogg, just his initial leg speed against Jeff Farmer. Last week we've seen Matthew Hogg do a terrific job on Darren Buick up the ground, but when he went forward in that sort of 15, 20 metres from goal, that's when the speed becomes a critical factor. Today the similarities are certainly the same.
Under 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Big Jim Steins does the roving work and does it pretty well too. McDonald chips it up towards the forward line. Silvani waited for the bounce and just tried to pat it down. Woden is the one at the bottom with the ball.
Should have grabbed it, Mick.
Yeah, for sure. Just looked a little bit under pressure, thinking the tackler might come from behind if he did do it. It was just unfortunate the ball did go to ground. Put the player out of sort of confidence.
So Melbourne threatening at this stage of the game. A couple of goals. They've snuck clear. The biggest lead in the game so far. Phoebe couldn't take it. Hogg heads for the line. And there'll be a throw-in the left forward pocket for Melbourne. Lyon has 3 goals and Farmer has 2. The only multiple scorers on the ground. Schwarz taken out by Porter. Farmer can't get clear. Neats picks it up now. A little too far for Woden. May leave it for Viney. He bounced off his teammate to the skipper. Kicks it inside 50. Now's a chance for Big Jim.
That was an interesting setup at that boundary throw, and it was Jimmy Steins who actually started nearly at centre wing because of his direct opponent in Porter took the boundary throw in. Sexton was unopposed. Sexton decided to come and pick up Steins on centre wing. Then Jimmy sort of restructured his starting point. He pushed forward and made Sexton be the defensive player. Steins was then the forward, come out and met the ball. Sexton gave him too much space to mark the ball.
16 points is the lead at the moment. Steins can make it 22. 40 metres out. He chips away to the right. 17 points is the margin. And again, it'll be Craig Bradley who'll bring it into play.
46 plays, 29. Bradley goes straight up the centre of the ground. Oh, there's a great grab by Cowell. Oh, looking for Porter, quick hands, non-stop action to Rigoni, goes out wide.
Free kick to Lyon.
Free kick to Garry Lyon in his back. A goal has been kicked by Jeff Farmer. They're going to play it. Advantage.
Amazing.
shows all the skill of Chervo, KB, doesn't he?
Well, it was said before by Dipper that he's only had the ball a few times, Jeff Farmer, but he's such a dangerous player.
This is a terrific mark by Cow, firstly. Really launched himself the attack. The free kick was given here to Garry Lyon for in the back. But this is just terrific play by Farmer. Quick look at goal. Difficult shot from that pocket of the MCG. Great awareness.
Farmer has 3, Lyon has 3. 8-4 plays at 4-5. Is this going to be a winning break for the Demons? There's a long way to go yet. They've made the challenge. Brown and co, including Peter Dean, will pick themselves up. Dean appearing to be okay after that heavy knock he copped just a couple of moments ago. The clash with Stephen Tingay. Still in the middle. Perfect day for football in Melbourne. Viney ridden into the ground by Dean. Ratton comes in over the top.
Big Jimmy caught one on the side of the scone. It's just one-on-one contest.
He's just
Let's have a closer look at that, boys.
certainly, there's
the old earache.
cuff on the right ear.
Still in the middle. 23 points the difference. Melbourne leads. Looking to sneak back into the 8. Porter comes over the top. Rice gets a hurried kick. Carlton needs the next goal, but it's Ingerson who marks at half-back.
And obviously the Parkin and the match committee of Carlton have reacted to the speed or lack of speed of Matthew Hogg. They've put Ronnie DeLulio back on Farmer now, and Matthew Hogg's gone to the midfield.
Rigoni just blasts it down to the forward line. Or Tingay was dangerously lurking past, but a good mark taken by Michael Sexton. Call to play on now is the veteran. He comes towards Ratton, who's almost down to centre wing, but he's going to be in some bother here. Taken over the line by pressure from Tingay.
Demons by 23 points. Just under 6.5 minutes left in the second term. Young Porter against the veteran in Jimmy Steins. Steins wins the tap, trying to crash his way through, and the loose ball taken by Bradley to centre half forward. Matthew Allen caught under the ball, coming out with strong play was Uze. Comes back to Hogg, might kick a goal of his own. Matthew Hogg, quick snap, he's got it. Well, he's had 3 goals kicked on him by Jeff Farmer. David Parkin has moved him to midfield and up forward, and straight away he boots a goal.
Yeah, good play here, but the stop play situation was Carlton who worked the ball forward through Bradley. Shanahan just misjudged that a little bit. Terrific line at the ball by Matty Hogg. Eyes only for the ground level ball. Terrific conversion by a player that's had 3 goals kicked on him, but he had the chance to go forward and kick one himself. Terrific play.
So the Blues drag it back to 17 points. So we see there Matthew Hogg, who's kicked his first goal for the match, an important one for the Blues. Camporelli shrugs off the tackle. That's the first one, caught by McDonald the second time around. Fraser Brown goes to the ground, driven into the ground by Leoncelli. They'll ball it up inside the centre square.
It's interesting to see now, KB, that Silvani's actually gone to Garry Lyon at more or less the conventional centre-half forward position or centre-half back position from his point of view, and also Manton's playing on each out of the goal square.
Rigoni, what a year he's had after playing at Myrtleford last year. Ratton, dual best and fairest winner to Fraser Brown. He's had a lot of the ball. This is going to be close. Touched on the line and through from behind.
You can see why he's held in such high regard as Fraser Brown. He's just a ball winner. He just knows where to run. His awareness is sensational. He uses the ball so effectively. If he ever has a full season at Carlton, he'll certainly win a best and fairest award at that particular club.
Shanahan's coming off the ground as Uze kicks it into Woden. Coming on is Gasper. This is McDonald. From the defensive side of centre, Anthony McDonald kicking up towards half forward. Schwarz was the target. Palmed it down beautifully to Lyon. Lyon chips up towards half forward, but it's Whitnell in defence who gives it off to Manton. They do it unopposed towards Mackay on the outer side. The Blues were in danger of slipping away. Two thrusts forward have resulted in 1 goal won, and it leaves them with a chance of closing it even further. The juggling mark, no one is able to take it. It was there, but they couldn't. And eventually it's taken over the line by Damien Gasper. Just come onto the ground for that man in the middle of your screen, Jamie Shanahan. A vital 4.5 minutes now, especially for Carlton. They'd love another one.
The Carlton runner being told to leave the area, Sandy, and the umpires seem very, very much aware of where the runners and the trainers are now, because a few of them have been getting in the way.
A throw in on the outer side. Yes, he was in front of that pack. Steins and Allen charging that direction now. Brown, Camporelli, hurriedly boot to ball. Where's Rice? Oh, great mark by Dean Rice. The diving finger tipper. And now the opportunity for the Blues to cut that margin to single figures. Almost. 10 points if he kicks this. 40 metres out. Stone silence, suggesting a behind. Twelve effective scoring shots apiece, but it is Melbourne who leads by 15 points with under 4 minutes remaining. This time it's Phoebe going straight down the middle. Well, the kick had to be good. It had to be pinpoint perfect. It wasn't. Peter Dean, well, he too has erred, and he's going to get out of trouble.
Play on was called, Sandy, yeah. Actually did take a couple of steps, and play on was the call. The tackle was laid, and the ball spilled free from the tackle, but certainly not happy about the fact that he was called to play on. That's James McDonald or Anthony Leoncelli. Andrew Leoncelli, sorry.
So big chance now for the Blues. They trail by 15 points, pushing and shoving. Stein's got his hands on the ball first. They're going in hard. Camporelli again. Very physical at the ball. And a ball up. 30 metres out from Carlton's goal. There's Scott Camporelli on screen. He's had a pretty big game so far. He's had 10 possessions and 2 marks. He's been in the thick of the action. Ratton runs onto the ball. Caught by Viney. Forces it through for a behind.
There's been some terrific tackles today, like 2 and 3 players on 1 player. Obviously Melbourne want to play in the finals, and certainly playing that way.
Well, he's a bit stiff, Ratton, running into Viney, probably the toughest player on the Melbourne list.
Brett Ratton thought he was tackled high too.
Yes, he grabbed the collar, but no free kick.
Yeah, we all think that, don't we?
Stephen Phoebe this time goes for distance. McCabe from behind, Ingerson, those long arms. Straight away gives it back to Woden, who's under pressure. This could be a loose ball, could be the turnover the Blues want. Fraser Brown pounced on it, back towards 50, running with the flow of the ball. Good play. That's young Massey, who's got the job on Tingay, backing back. Good mark to Beaumont. And all of a sudden, Mick, the Blues are starting to look dangerous.
Yeah, the last 5 minutes have certainly controlled the ball in midfield, and Fraser Brown there once again just typified his aggression at the ball. He ran straighter at the ground level contest than his opponent did. That's the reason why Beaumont's got a shot on goal.
And kicks it. So Beaumont gets his first goal. He's been very accurate this season. He's kicked 9 goals, 2 for the year. And one of the young players they've got up forward, along with Lance Whitnell, and they are looking dangerous.
And you have a look at this line by Fraser Brown. He just went straight through the line of the ball, eyes only for it. That's the reason why the ball got forward into the land by Massey, who kicked across his body and found Beaumont in a one-on-one contest. But that's terrific play. Put the goal down to Fraser Brown.
Well, it wasn't so long ago that Melbourne was threatening to stretch their lead to almost 30 points. Carlton has cut that now to just 8. 52 plays 44 at this critical stage of the game. Leoncelli takes it from Tingay. Can Melbourne reply? Bradley is the stumbling block at half-back. Plays on, does the skipper. Off he goes to Silvani. He'll run it wide towards Manton. 3 of the most experienced players, and he is clean ball. Did it go out? No. Viney might make him pay. It waddles towards line. He gets an awful bounce. He picks it up now. He chips away at goal and he slams it into the woodwork. Well, that wasn't too tidy.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes by a lot of players out there. Craig Bradley decided to take on Jeff Farmer on the mark, gave the ball back to Silvani, who miskicked it to Manton. Then a little bit of a fumble to Garry Lyon resulted in a point for the Melbourne team.
Bradley goes to Sexton on the outer side. It's a 9-point margin. Just over a minute remaining. Sexton kicks towards centre wing. Big pack of players, and Steve Tingay, with almost arrogant aggression, pulls that ball down and kicks towards half foot. It's not a good kick over. McKay's hand pass is also astray. Woden claim, not before he gets it off to Phoebe. He's running out of space. He's able to just keep it in play. Viney goes over the top to the running Tingay. Tingay's 40 metres out. He shoots towards goal and he misses.
And that was a terrific delayed handball there by, I think it was David Schwarz on the outer wing, to give the space to Tingay to run into. Didn't really overuse the ball in that part of the ground, but it was just that holding of the ball resulted Tingay to find space for himself. Terrific play by David Schwarz.
Bradley again going for position. It ricocheted off the shoulder of David Schwarz on that occasion. Ratton does the shepherding to see if Brown can pick it up. He can't, and Schwarz makes sure he's going absolutely nowhere.
It's quite obvious, Dipper, down there at ground level. The wind is certainly creating havoc for the players because the ball is very hard to judge.
Yeah, spot on, Mick, and certainly the last 2 or 3 minutes has picked up as well. It's very swirly down the ground level.
16 possessions to Fraser Brown. Here's Anthony McDonald outside of 50. It's a wild kick. It's out in the full. McDonald on screen. One of 3 brothers playing AFL football. His brother Alex, suspended at the moment, playing for Collingwood. McKay in front. Over the top was Allen. Good grab. So the Blues have dragged it back to 10 points. 64 plays 44. Allen and Porter taking on Jeff White and Jimmy Steins in the ruck. Fist away that time by Gaspar. On hands and knees. Tries to dribble the ball out towards Tingay. Pulled off the ball. Camporelli tried to tickle it as well. Ingerson under pressure got the ball back towards Leoncelli. Big pack of players. Gaspar goes to ground, but they're going to ball it up. So the siren will sound. There'll be no more score in this first half. Been very entertaining. Garry Lyon and Jeff Farmer being the goal kickers from Melbourne, kicking 6 goals between them in the first half. And there's Fraser Brown ending the half with the ball, which he's had plenty of today. 16 possessions of Fraser Brown. But it's all set for a terrific second half, with Melbourne leading by 10 points.
So it's John Harvey to bounce the ball to get the second half underway. 10 points is the margin. Melbourne leads, and they're kicking to the right of screen, to the scoreboard end. Jeff White was the flyer, but he didn't get an effective tap. Brown's been busy in the first half. Goes again. Massey's short kick straight to Phoebe. Tumbles it back over the centre once again. Not a good bounce for Collins, who's on the ground, but he does have good backup support. Phoebe running through the middle. This is Matthew. Inside 50. The dive was there. They were holding on. And Garry Lyon will mark his spot and then go back and take the kick. Is this shades of the first quarter?
And there's the importance of Todd Viney again. There's certainly the holding. John, you'd have to agree.
That was extremely soft, and I'm prepared to stick my neck out. I don't think that should have been a free kick to Garry Lyon, and Steve Silvani can consider himself very unlucky.
Lyon has booted 3 today.
Unbelievable, you umpires.
2 in the first. They never change.
Incredible.
Donny will show us again.
2 in the first term, 1 in the second. Lyon from 42 metres. He guides it through for number 4. Great start for the Demons in this second half.
Once again.
Controversy in the commentary box with Mick McGuan and John Russo going at it hammer and tong.
Well, Mick, just tell me exactly when Steve Silvani holds on to Garry Lyon. Now, do you think that's a hold in league football, do you?
No, you're probably right.
Thanks very much.
Gee, Mick, you put up a strong fight.
Good. Hate to concede there.
Hope you're not defending President Clinton.
Special cheerio here from Hillary. It's gone.
60 plays,
He's
44.
a safe church mouse, President Lincoln.
The Demons by 16 points.
President Lincoln. Jeez, I hope you don't have the same effect on President Clinton.
Bradley out of the centre square, just tumbles it forward. So the Blues across the half-forward line. Beaumont's all tied up by Uze. Loose ball Brown, fantastic in the first half. It's a wild handball. Beaumont runs into Shanahan. It's on 50. They force the ball forward, Carlton, and they've got a ball up.
Kevin, bring up the date with the benches down here. Jim Stones, McDonald, Gaspar and Smoker for Melbourne, and Anstey, Locke, Hines and also Porter for Carlton.
Yes, and if you catch a sight of John Wilkes Booth down there, give us a yell. Allen wins the tap. Ratton so hard at the ball. Been a big winner also in the first half. Here's Murphy. Rockets the ball out wide. Looks for Whitnell under pressure. It's a hurry kick to the front of the goal square. Murphy again trying to take the mark. Tingay bounced off his teammate in Viney. Was caught too high.
Advantage called, KB.
So the advantage is paid. And Uze comes away from the half-back line. Kicks out towards the centre wing. And running with a flight of ball is Matt Collins, playing his first game for the Demons. Had a couple of games with the Adelaide Crows. Kicks back to the centre of the ground. Could be a dangerous move. It could open up for Carlton. Allen with strength tried to crash his way through. Flexed the muscles. Blew up some biceps. Bang. Caught in the centre of the ground. Fraser Brown's in there as well. All tied up. And they'll ball it up.
And as you said, KB, that's always a dangerous kick, isn't it? If you kick the ball to a contest in midfield when you are looking to change direction, more often than not, the opposition side will gain momentum and push forward.
White, Allen, Dean, McKay has it stolen. Tapped on by Collins to accommodate Woden. He's clear on the left foot. He spins it round towards Lyon. Schwarz is at the back. It's only got a 6. David Schwarz goes for goal. Schwarz gets his first. Michael Sexton appears to be in trouble. And maybe Carlton are again in trouble. 22 points the margin.
This was brought about Michael Sexton really committing himself at the contest. As we see, Schwarz drops off the contest. There's no doubt Garry Lyon met Michael Sexton fairly heavily and hard in that contest, but terrific play. Played the percentages on that occasion. Good stuff by Schwarz.
Sexton probably still not quite 100%. Certainly won't be when he looks at the scoreboard. 44 plays 66. An excellent third quarter start by the Demons. Allen to go up against Jeff White. Once again, there's been an infringement in the square, and it's going to go the way of Melbourne. White will take it. Everything going the way of the red and the blue at the moment in the early stages of this third term. White puts them inside 50. Farmer got a hand at the back. Silvani with strength. Sexton appears to be okay. Out towards McKay. Loses it. Phoebe to Lyon. Lyon for number 5. What a start by the Demons. To Garry Lyon, and 11 to his club. 11-6 plays 6-8.
In all honesty, I think, Sandy, a lot of credit has to be given to this man. He's just a sensational competitor, is Garry Lyon. It's unfortunate that we had to miss him not playing the game for the 12 months or 18 months he was out with that back problem. But isn't it great to see a great player back in form and to see the inspirational acts that he does on an individual basis and a consistent basis? It's great to see him back in that Melbourne jumper.
3 goals in 3.5 minutes to Melbourne to start this third term. The high leaping Jeff White beaten by Allen. Here's Woden trying to break the tackle there from Fraser Brown. Again a loose ball. Collins. That's his second touch this quarter since coming on at half-time in his first game for the Demons. And they'll ball it up on 50.
Just sense the momentum is certainly going with Melbourne. You can just see the wave of numbers pushing through that ground level ball. Not only one, but more often than not, it's 2 or 3 players pushing through the contest.
Just saw Collins on screen there, the youngster. Here's Todd Viney, the skipper, off the side of the boot, and they'll toss it back in.
Yeah, good speed and tackle by Craig Bradley. He's certainly one player that has to lift because he's only had 6 possessions in the first half. We know he's a multiple possession winner. We certainly require, well, Carlton require a lot of run from him in this second half.
So the Demons, after leading by 10 points at half-time, all of a sudden find themselves 28 points up. Tingay paddles the ball towards the line. Massey has been his shadow all day. And he pops one in the back. Some slack checking by Carlton. Schwarz. Kicking from just right on 50.
He actually be kicking into the teeth of the wind here, because it certainly has picked up, as I mentioned just before half-time, but it'll take a very strong kick. We know that David can do this.
Left-hand goalpost, Dipper.
Left-hand goalpost.
Schwarz has already kicked one goal in this third term. This is a magnificent kick. He's drilled it. 2 goals to David Schwarz.
Yeah, terrific play by Melbourne. They've certainly jumped into this third quarter. 4 unanswered goals in the first 3.5 minutes of play. Just a terrific start, or 7 minutes of play. Terrific start by the Melbourne team. They know a lot is hinging on this actual outcome of this game. To keep their finals aspirations alive, it's so important that they continue on this merry way. Isn't it great to see Schwarz kicking goals?
2 goals to David Schwarz, 5 to Garry Lyon, 3 to Jeff Farmer. White, a little tap, and out the back door it comes, and it's Shanahan who pumps Melbourne forward again. Down to the man in a moment. A blistering hand pass away to Tingay. He shoots for goal, but he's away to the right. And that really would have set the cat amongst the pigeons. We talk about the president being in strife, Mick. Don't worry about Lincoln or Clinton or anyone. Carlton's in trouble.
Yeah, they certainly are at this stage, Sandy, but just goes to show the importance of centre square work. Once again, Melbourne got the ball forward. 5 from 5 this early stage of the third quarter.
Silvani to Delio. Still tucked in the back pocket. Deep in defence. Sexton appears to have recovered after being a little proppy on that leg for a while, although that kick is disappointing. Good defensive work and a strong lunge by Jeff White. Pulls half the MCG out of his sock.
I think this has been the concern from Carlton's point of view, knowing that they've got terrific body players in Ratton and Brown and the like, but it's just a matter of whether they can sustain it hard enough, long enough, because you continue pushing your body into the contest, naturally your legs have to go at some stage.
Bradley soccers it off the ground down towards Shanahan, who's given away a free kick.
Hogg held without the ball, Sandy, no doubt at all.
Yeah. Hogg has it in the middle. Danger time for the Blues now. Murphy drifts down to right half forward. Still a long way out. Here comes Beaumont on the lead. The pass was okay, so he'll have a shot 40 metres out, almost directly in front.
He's pretty quick, Mick. A bit like Pearce, isn't he? Quick on the lead out in front.
Yeah, certainly. You know, the hole was certainly given, was there for Beaumont to lead into, but as you said, he's very quick off the mark and usually a good shot on goal.
He's kicked 18 career goals as this 22-year-old, and I'm afraid, Mick, you put the moz on him.
Put the moz on him, Sandy. They're ones you have to kick in that part of the ground. Very rarely you get an opportunity to lead free into space when it's usually a stop play situation or a set play situation, like Justin Murphy marked on the southern stand wing. To release the ball in that part of the ground is fairly foreign. Beaumont must kick goals in situations like that.
Peter Dean off for Carlton, and young lock on Stephen Phoebe to bring the ball back into play. Hugs the boundary line, finds Woden. Kicks the ball down looking for Uze. He's got Allen to beat, who does well. Gets a fist to the ball. Murphy, prominent early. Uze slaps the ball forward. Melbourne with the runners. Collins, a little bit anxious on that occasion, taken by Murphy from the centre wing. Goes short. This is a poor kick, sets him up. His teammate had 2 to beat. Cowell, who is super quick, is caught, gives the ball back. Woden. He's played every game since he's been at Melbourne. Has the ball half smothered, taken by Allen. Catches a glimpse of Murphy out wide, who tries to set up to the half-forward line. Whitnell in front. Again, Ingerson's done it so well today. Just keeps fisting the ball away. Taken by Locke. Hugs the boundary line.
Free kick paid for incorrect disposal, Kev.
Just a bit of a shovel out against that youngster there, maybe in Locke. So Melbourne to take the free kick. Ingerson. He's got the loose player in Shanahan. Most games of any present-day player without kicking a goal in AFL football. To White, just his 5th possession for the game. To Leoncelli, run through the centre square. He's looking for Schwarz. What a great kick. This forward line is working superbly today for Melbourne. Garry Lyon's booted 5. Schwarz has got 2. Neitz has been dangerous without kicking a goal, and Jeff Farmer's also kicked 3.
I think it's important to say that Melbourne have really changed their style of play. Once they get the ball across half-back, they're really conscious of getting the ball back into the centre corridor, giving the forwards some freedom of space to lead into on the open side of the field.
So Schwarz has got the kicking boot on today. Another goal to the Demons. And this is a magnificent third term, worthy of a side being in the top 8.
Yeah, for sure, KB. I think you've hit the nail on the head. The most important thing about a good quality team is the ability to kick accurately a goal. At this stage, it's been 13 goals, 7, and their key forwards are kicking multiple goals, and it's so important when you get the likes of Lyon, Schwarz, even though Nietzsche hasn't had a great deal of impact on the scoreboard, and Jeff Farmer kicking multiple goals, they'll accumulate a winning score more often than not.
Neil Danaher is watching the David Schwarz show in this third term. He's booted 3 of their 5 in this quarter. Allen, as White floated a little too high, a little too early. Woden caught.
It's terrific to see the 3 big forwards in action, to see how they work together, the space they create for each other. They're not going for the one contest, they're really working in a unit down there to give each other some space to lead into.
Ratton. Murphy, wider to Brown. Beaumont's hand pass back to Ratton. Another one he rifles out to Brown, but he's caught by Uze. Indecision there, but eventually Leoncelli gives it away to Shanahan, and the D's are away again. They've kicked 5 so far in this term, and Phoebe goes charging down the left half-forward flank, looks in towards full forward. The big guns, are they there? Garry Lyon, this time beaten by Silvani. Hand pass a little proppy for Matt, but it's going to be okay. Manton goes to the outer side and finds Murphy. He's got Ratton running past. He slows it down to Hogg on centre wing. 85 plays 45. Amazing sprint away by Melbourne, who led by only 10 points at half-time.
I'd say that was almost a 50. Certainly would have been thought about, but not paid.
Beaumont chips away, goes down towards the half-forward line, and the mark is taken by Damien Locke. Youngster comes into half-forward proper, this time finds White.
And that's probably one thing that would certainly annoy coach Neil Danaher, knowing that the momentum's certainly with the Melbourne team, but just to allow players to drift into that part of the ground unopposed is just a lack of concentration and also discipline, as we see Michael Sexton coming off the ground, obviously fairly sore, and Johnny Hines coming on for his first run today.
Adam White for his 4th goal of the season, and he misses away to the left.
Yeah, the doctors are looking at Sexton now. Looks like a corky to his left knee there, so they're just taping it up.
Some experience there with Peter Dean sitting on his left. Dean playing what his 245th game. Suddenly the Carlton fans have quietened down. Their side has the job ahead of them now. White from behind. Oh!
Yeah, certainly this free kick. Just jumped over him, John.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the umpires concluded that the prime objective of Jeff White was not to contest that mark, and
Whitnell has spun it into the base of the post. And it looked for a moment as though it might continue to spin for a goal, Mick, but not to be one behind.
It certainly did look like.
Yes, it was a spectacular leap by Jeff White, but even though it's spectacular, deemed illegal.
Good awareness here. Whitnell knew there was a vacant goal square.
Well, some could say lucky with the bounce, others might say a little unlucky. Here's Rigoni. Melbourne out of trouble once again.
Gives it across to Matthew Phoebe. Kicks to centre half forward. Farmer's in front. Thumped away that time by D'Ulio. Here's a chance for Collins. Murphy does well. Weaves himself out of trouble. There's young Hines just onto the ground. Kicks the ball wide, snapped up by Woden. 75 metres out, he's going to drill it. Coming across in front was Manton. That took courage in front. Gets around the Wizard. Back to Silvani, so Carlton out of defence. A couple of old hands combined. Ratton is off. Now has to kick the ball out towards the centre wing position. He's got 3 to beat out there. That was young White, and has been marked there by Woden. So Melbourne with the numbers to young Collins. Always thought he looked pretty impressive with the Crows in the few games he played. Youngster from McLeod, he looks like he's a good pickup for Melbourne. Kicks long inside 50, a big pack of players. Rice stands down, gives it to Bradley. So the playmaker tries to set it up, goes wide. This is a good kick, looking for Hogg. in front of Cow. White there to lend support. Great play by Cow. He's pinched it. Back inside 50. Big chance now for the Demons, and a big grab that time taken by Glenn Manton. Back to Rice. So non-stop action at the MCG. He slips over the critical moment. Loose ball. Not getting the bounce he wanted was Collins. Trying to weave his way through was Leoncelli. Taken by McDonald, a big player in the first half. All tied up by Hogg. And they'll ball it up. 13-7-85 Melbourne. Carlton 6-11-47. The Blues are goalless in this third term. And Melbourne have booted 5 goals in the first 16 minutes of this quarter. White again down to Leoncelli. They've been so good midfield, Melbourne. Viney also a big winner in the first half, and here's Neitz. One of this big three-pronged attack. Here's Schwarz again. He's got it. Well, if Schwarz comes back to his best form, Mick, he was in reserves there a few weeks back, and you throw in Neitz and in-form fit Garry Lyon, this is as good as any competition's forward setup.
Oh, for sure. You know, they're 3 mobile forwards. That's the most difficult thing to match up. Usually you might have 2 talls that are fairly mobile, a real type floating ruckman like Everett, safe for St Kilda. But these 3 players are very mobile and targets.
David Schwarz. Schwarz, point-blank range. Kicks a goal. He's kicked 4 goals for the quarter, David Schwarz.
I think the most important thing too, KB, to mention is they've got a great understanding between the 3 of them about where to run. And as we see here, on this occasion, the free kick was given to Neitz for holding on. Garry Lyon and David Schwarz were both in the goal square. Garry Lyon stayed back, let the room for Schwarz to run into. That's terrific team orientation. One thing that it certainly would be pleasing Coach Neil Danaher.
6 unanswered goals by Melbourne. 14-7 plays 6-11, and White rips them out in the middle once again. Rice tries to chop it up, but it goes to Tingay. Now kick it from here, Stevie boy. 50 metres out. He bends it back on the left foot. Schwarz is there. They pounce upon him, and it's 1 behind.
Just great signs for Melbourne. Obviously, a third quarter. I mean, Neil Danaher would have been proud of the boys up to half-time, but premiership quarter, they say the third quarter is good signs.
Diulio takes the kick out at half-back. He's got Rice loose almost down towards centre wing, and he's got a bit of space. Schwarz continues to chase him, keep the pressure on, and he gets the kick away. Waiting down will be Beaumont, the left footer. Swings back now into full forward, and well chopped off once again by Ingerson. Done a good job today, Mick.
Yeah, for sure. He's been very disciplined in his approach. Whitnell more often than not's finding front position, but Ingerson's done the disciplined things all day. That time he got goal side of his opponent, and Whitnell read the kick from Beaumont a little bit better than Lance did.
Smoker on the ground now, and Viney off of Melbourne.
And he's loose too.
And there goes White, kicking in towards Farmer. Fisted away from him, but they got the loose player. Leoncelli runs through the middle.
Smoker
decides to do it on his own. He's got Smoker. Go on. And he does. And he misses. And he cannot believe it. And neither can that ball.
He was in 2 minds then, obviously, to give it Garry Lyon will play on, and obviously he played on, and you can't miss that, can you, Mick?
Oh, should not miss that. However, it's history now as Hines comes away for Carlton towards Manton. Glenn Manton's on centre wing. Pokes it through to Allen. He's got Bradley running with him. Braddles has been pretty quiet today. The sun hurting Whitnell. White unharmed. Away they go again. Aragoni kicks it to Farmer. In fact, it was Uze to Farmer. A bad kick by Jeffrey, maybe just kept in play. It is by Smoker. A centering kick this time towards Garry Lyon. Got it. Tried to get the hand pass out. Brown on all fours. Goes to ground. Diulio crouched. Strong work by Garry Lyon. And eventually out of bounds. On the full, Garry saying it was touched, but not to be. 93 plays 47 as the shadows lengthen here at the G.
5 goals to Garry Lyon. He booted 2 in the first quarter, 1 in the second, and 2 in this third term. But his partner in crime, David Schwarz, has kicked 4 goals in this third quarter. White, the high flyer. Got a fist to the ball. Fraser Brown's been so good today. Just dribbles along the boundary line, looking for Beaumont. Quick hands. Gets the ball back to Locke. To Ratton, goes short. This time, without the sun in his eyes, taken by Whitnell. Came off the back of Ingerson, so it's into the pocket where young Massey is driven into the ground. Started the game playing on Stephen Tingay. Chris Massey now appears to be playing on the forward line.
And Chris Massey asking the question as to why that wasn't paid as a push in the back.
Yet to kick a goal in this third term, Carlton. They started this third quarter 10 points down and now trail 93 to 47. So it's blown out to 46 points, Leoncelli.
Only that they got a very good forward setup. They're very hard at the ball, Melbourne. Every opportunity, they've got 2 or 3 players at the ball helping each other, and they're prepared to tackle hard and bunt very hard as well.
And a change at the interchange bench too, Dipper.
Stynes is on now.
Stynes is on and Jeff White is off. Rigoni, the man from Myrtleford, goes for a run. Got a chance to draw an opponent, does so. Back to Woden on the edge of the centre square. Drives down towards centre half forward. Neitz was the target. McKay paddles the ball long in front. He's got Smoke at the beat and also Neitz. Neitz wins out, kicks back. Here's a chance. The Wizards got it.
Don't you love it? Give him a rat, KB. Pump him up.
Well, I don't think he needs pumping up. He's booted 3. Coming off a 6-goal game last week. One of the most exciting young players in the game. And just proving a bit too good that time for Ronnie DiIulio.
This for his 99th career goal.
And the 7th goal for the quarter to Melbourne. Jeff Farmer. The Roar tell the story. He's missed because there's no Roar. In fact, he's just shaved the post. 3 goals, 2 to Jeff Farmer today.
Hines with under 5 minutes left. Ambles out of defence. Comes to Brown.
24 possessions.
Half back. Yeah, he's been a real goer, hasn't he? Fraser Brown. Murphy too has tried hard. This is Tingay. Phoebe. Schwarz in front of the pack. Beaumont claimed by Phoebe. Hines pokes it straight over the top. Lands with Shanahan. He kicks down to half forward. He's got David Neitz. Still a long way from home. Neitz gets on with the job very smartly, but McKay intercepts at half back. He's off, but he's caught. Not before he gets it away to Hines. Goes across the face of goal, and it's Anstey. Down towards Rice, who's heading towards centre wing, and Allen takes them up. Another change, Camporelli, as you can see in your top left-hand corner for Sexton. Into half forward. That sun is certainly proving a problem. Very, very difficult. Anstey couldn't take it. Cowell gets the hand pass away to Woden. Melbourne out of the danger zone once again. Down towards Neitz territory. Couldn't take the mark, but he does have good support. Now it's up to Garry Lyon. Lyon and Silvani. 2 of the game's greats. And it's Silvani who sees it over the line. 1 behind conceded.
That's just an enthralling battle to observe and witness. 2 real good body players in Garry Lyon and also Stephen Silvani in the contested aerial duel. Neither player's prepared to give an inch. Lyon trying to find front position. And as we know, Silvani's very hard to knock off the line of the ball.
McKay is tucked in the back pocket. Premiership player from 1995. Again asking the players to put up with the sun. It doesn't bother Tingay. Wants to get on with the job. Spears a worm burner to Neitz. He kicks from 40 metres and he's away to the left. They've done all the attacking. But at this time it's a behind that has been added. 14-12 plays 6-11. This term Carlton has added 3 behinds and Melbourne has added 6 goals, 6.
12 scoring shots to 3 in this third term. So the ball was taken by Anstey, one of the youngsters. David Parkin was given a run today. Murphy. 16 possessions and 5 marks to Justin Murphy. He's got a loose player again. Back to Anstey. Goes to centre half forward. Whitnell out in front. Again Ingerson. His shadow. Hogg has kicked 1 goal today after starting on Farmer. It's all tied up on the front edge of the centre square. Under pressure. Melbourne take the ball away. Matthew Phoebe again. They bomb it long here. Schwarz. He's got it again. This is a quarter and a half by David Schwarz. He's going for his 5th goal of the term.
And this is where
Magnificent marking exhibition.
I think this is where the loss of Anthony Koutafidis today has become more than evident. Not only could he have been used in midfield to complement Ratton and Brown, but at this stage of the game, when certainly the tide's going with Melbourne, he could be used in a negating role to play on one of these tall players in Melbourne's front half.
David Schwarz from right on 50. Distance is there. He's nailed it. 5 goals to David Schwarz in this 3rd term. A magnificent display for a player who, I dare say, Mick, a few years back, we thought he may never play a game.
Yeah, I think I intimated earlier about the comeback of Garry Lyon to come back into this Melbourne team, but I think also you have to mention the efforts and the courage, I suppose you'd call it, and the resolve of David Schwarz coming back into this side. 3 knee reconstructions, and to come back in the manner he has, it's a credit to the man.
102 plays 47, and if this trend continues in the final term, one thing it will do will help Melbourne's percentage. That could play a key role, and the countdown to the finals begins. Needs just tries a deft little flick. Bradley couldn't take it. Sexton gets it away to McKay. He goes to the outer side. Whitnell and Ingerson. The latter slaps it over the back. Whitnell is quick to recover, however. Caught, loses it, and it's Wowoden takes it over the line. Almost scoring a try.
Interesting to ask Dipper down at ground level. Was there a problem with Todd Viney because he was on the interchange bench?
Straight back on now. Dipper, you got any news on that?
Well, he must have had a problem because he had 18 possessions, didn't he? And in the first half, he was arguably, one of Melbourne's best 3 players.
Looks to be okay, though, as he heads back out into the thick of things. Here's a player who's given his all for Carlton. Brown in towards half-forward. Fine mark. Again in front, Tingay.
He's certainly getting better as the game goes on. Signs are ominous.
Building towards the final. Smoker caught by Hines and loses the football. Steins applies a tackle. The ball spills to McKay. He picks it up and pumps it high down towards the half-forward line. Wowoden again is the stumbling block. Off he goes quickly. Uze back to Wowoden. Tumbling it up towards Collins, who marks on centre wing. Comes back into the middle, and the diving mark is taken by Todd Viney. Certainly appears to be okay there. Gives it away to Uze. Adam Uze looks towards Lyon. 3 grabs, and he's got it 45 metres out, almost directly in front, as this one-way traffic continues, Nick.
Yeah, and that's just another example of the ball getting back into the centre corridor. Melbourne are so conscious of doing that as it opens up the dimensions for the forwards. But more importantly, the back half players are really prepared to run and overlap and receive the handball, as was on that occasion. But Garry Lyon was on the burst, on the lead, good disposal to him. But a terrific contested mark, kept his eyes on the footy, kept his balance, and now he's got a chance to kick another goal.
He's got a chance to kick number 6. The siren. But he goes in at 3/4 time with 5 next to his name. And the Melbourne supporters give their side a standing ovation. That was one heck of a quarter, especially by David Schwarz. He booted 5. And at 3/4 time, they say, catch us, Carlton, if you can. Let's see if Melbourne can stretch this lead, or will Carlton peg them back? The final term here at the MCG as the Demons look to return to a spot in the 8. Ratton, Phoebe on his hammer, and he beats him, does Matthew Phoebe. Around the corner, up towards half-forward. David Schwarz, a sensational 3rd quarter. Almost gave away a free kick to Massey then, didn't appear to have the ball. Now Massey claims Schwarz, not before he gets a hand pass away. It was eventually smothered. Sexton locks it up on Tingay. And coming in for bounce is umpire Troy Burton.
I think the umpire just concluded that he'd staged for that free kick, and that was the reason it hasn't been paid, Sandy.
And it's interesting to see David Parkins reacted to the Schwarz show in the 3rd quarter. He's pushed Lance Whitnell back on him, and John Hines has gone to centre forward.
Well, it hasn't stopped him here, although that kick, Mick, is wide and out of bounds on the forward. 5 goals to David Schwarz in the 3rd quarter alone. 5 goals to Garry Lyon in the match, and 3 to Jeff Farmer. While for Carlton, it's a very different story. No multiple scorers. Here's Tingay. Playing a very, very good game. 16th possession. So he goes down towards the forward zone once again. And seeing it dribble over the line is James McDonald. Melbourne at the moment in 9th position on the ladder with a percentage of 92.5. Richmond, Essendon and Adelaide above them on percentage. Their game still to be belayed. McKay gives it off to Whitnell. Whitnell runs through half-back, kicks it in towards the centre. No mark taken by Beaumont, but he continues to charge at the ball. Swings round now, thought about the left foot, then gives it away to Fraser Brown. Brown gives another one to Sexton. Carlton slowly edging their way down towards Hines. He's still a long way out. Chips it in towards Hogg, and he marks inside 50 in front of Shane Woden.
Yeah, terrific ball use there by young John Hines. Showed a cool head under a tight situation. Just got the ball free to Matthew Hogg, who's got a chance to kick his second goal for the game. But also terrific running there by Matty Hogg. He was in the midfield when Beaumont come to meet that ball from Lance Whitnell out of defence. But he ran extremely hard to the other side of the ground. And here's his just reward, having his second shot on goal. An opportunity to kick his second for the day.
He has booted one in the second term. Their last goal in time on in the second quarter. 45-degree angle, kicking from 48 metres and pulling it to the left.
Tandy, just to keep you up to date with the benches here, Gaspar, Leoncelli, Smoker and Jeff White for Melbourne, and for Carlton have Porter, Adam White, Peter Dean and Camporelli.
Thanks, Tim.
Rigoni gets it across to Todd Viney from the half-back line, drills it to James McDonald, still between half-back and centre wing. Carlton kicked its last goal at 26.5-minute mark of the second term. Steins to Matthew Phoebe, plenty of run in the legs. Inside 50, Whitnell getting back. The sun is in their eyes down there. Here's the Wizard, paddling the ball along in front. Got a touch of the fumbles, tackled by Silvani, driven into the ground. Fraser Brown wards off his opponent there in Garry Lyon, gets it back to Allen, to Whitnell, casually out of defence, heads towards the boundary line, hoping for it to bounce over, gets his wish, and they'll toss it back in. 103 plays, 48. Stephen Phoebe on screen. So many good players today for Melbourne. The midfield's been very strong. So there we go. 26.5-minute mark of that second term. Carlton last scored a goal. Massey kicks a high ball. It's one for the Brave. Big fist away at ground level. Pounced on by Neitz. Just couldn't quite handle it. McKay tried to take it. Fresh air shot by Neitz. Here's Collins. Shown a bit today. Tingay goes to ground. He was all tied up by Locke. Youngster off the bench for Carlton. And they'll ball it up about 55 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Well, the Demons led by 4 points at quarter time, only 10 points at half time, and 56 points at three-quarter time after kicking 7 goals in that third term and holding the Blues goalless.
From the bounce at half-back, picked up by Brown. Goes wide to the outer side. Beaumont gets a bad bounce. Ingerson and Sexton head towards the line. The ball just spins away from them. It again opens the door for Beaumont. Chips it like a pitching wedge up towards left half forward. Rat spears the hand pass back to Sexton. He kicks it down towards Hogg territory once again. He beats Cowell. Wants to get on with the job. He's got players streaming down the ground. One of those is Allen. He also had young Anstey there as well. But it's Allen at half forward who's going to have a shot. Directly in front, 50 metres out. And kicking for his second. He kicked one in the first term, which now for Carlton seems a long, long time ago. 52 metres for Allen, and that has sailed over the top for a goal. They've finally broken the ice. Allen gets his second, and that's their first since time on in the second term.
Yeah, obviously a much-needed goal for the Carlton team. Terrific awareness there by Matthew Hogg. just read the ball a little bit better than his opponent in Cow, but played on quickly to find the overlap of Matty Allen running into that percentage spot of the forward 50 to receive the ball. He's tried extremely hard all day, trying to stem the tide for the Carlton team.
There's Sexton on the interchange bench off the ground. Camporelli has just come back on. He's been on and off the ground a couple of times today, Michael Sexton, after copping a heavy knock to his leg. So the Demons by 49 points. They continue to just force the ball forward, and it's a ball up inside the centre square.
And this is when it's so important in the KB from the futuristic point of view.
Craig Bradley looks to be in a little bit of discomfort as well with his hand.
They really need to go on with this second half to sort of lay some sort of impact into the final 8.
Ingerson off and Leoncelli on for Melbourne. Rice all tied up by James McDonald. Anthony McDonald with strength is Todd Vine. He gets the ball back. So Melbourne continue to come forward. Leoncelli looking for Schwarz. What a quarter he played in that third team, booting 5 goals. Youngster Anti comes away from the half-back flank for the Blues, looking for Ratton. Stands his ground, does well. Gets around Uze, who at long last gets his hands on him and brings the tackle. Viney. Transfer play to Woden has been a very good player. Now it opens up wide. He's got Tingay. Started slowly on Massey. Has really opened up. Kicked the last quarter and a half. 2 bounces. He can have 3. He can run to 50. Unloads a big bomb. Gives it both barrels. Across the face of goals. The Melbourne supporters rise as one. Certainly a favourite with the Demon crowd, Stephen Tingay. Unfortunately, just one behind.
And that was a terrific build-up. The change direction once again by the Melbourne team, but terrific play then by Matthew Collins. He was on the left of screen. He had Chris Massey, his direct opponent. He didn't actually go towards Tingay, the ball carrier. He stayed back, ran into the hole behind him, allowed Tingay that freedom of space to run into. Just unfortunate the conversion wasn't there.
You mentioned Massey. There he is, giving the ball to Brown. After the kick in from Manton. Drops short to Tingay. He recovers despite the pressure from Hines, but it's then forced out of his hands and over the line. Good day for Steve Tingay. 11 kicks, 6 hand passes, 6 marks. Just a little off target. Kicking 1 goal for. Steins and Allen. Phoebe, this is Matthew Phoebe. He too has been busy. Down towards a big forward line that contains the Wizard. Only as far as the forward pocket. Well, Melbourne in the weeks ahead have Port Adelaide at Football Park. They have Sydney at the MCG, and they have Richmond at the MCG. And I'm sure they're going to keep their fans right on the edge of their seat. The end of the home and away if they can make it. Garry Lyon appeared to look for a free on that occasion. Neitz tries to sneak out the back door, but he's gang tackled. Five goals to Lyon. Neitz hasn't scored. Allen, the right-handed flick. Brown tries to get it out. Camporelli, Brown again. Lyon, Collins and co over the top, and also Ronnie DiIulio with Jeff Farmer.
It's interesting looking at this stop play situation, that being when the umpire has the ball about to bounce it. Carlton have to be more accountable. You see 2 or 3 players sitting off the pack. Now, if the ball goes forward away from goal for the Melbourne team, they've got 3 players in areas, percentage spots to bring the ball back and use it more effectively than what the Carlton team have got.
Allen again tries to flick it out the back. He was looking for Brown. Schwarz shrugs the tackle once. Camporelli comes through. That was good persistence by Brown then. Anstey picks it up in the back pocket. One of the youngsters getting a chance. Combines with Manton, who then guides him down towards Dean Rice on centre wing. Rice is away. Now Cowell's quick and he gives chase, but he doesn't get him. In towards the right half forward, Beaumont.
That's terrific play by Carlton. Really used the ball well coming out of defence.
He chips away into the pocket and Hines takes the mark.
He's looked a likely type in the short time he's been on the ground as John Hines. He's been really mobile since he's gone to the centre half forward position since David Parkin took him off David Schwarz, who had a real run of kicking goals in that third quarter. But Hines is a beautiful kick, beautifully balanced. Wouldn't be surprised if he kicked this.
Young man from the Paran Dragons. An excellent kick off the boot by Hines. He gets his first. Matthew Allen is the only multiple scorer for Carlton. He has 2.
Yeah, terrific passage of play by the Carlton team. Stemmed right from the defensive part of the ground. They used the ball exceptionally well, both with hand and feet. Got the ball back to Rice on centre wing, who gave a penetrating pass to Hines. And as we see here, terrific technique, beautifully balanced, kicking towards goal. Head over the ball, good follow through. More importantly, kick straight.
And the first goal in AFL football for John Hines. That's one he'll remember. 8-12-60. The Blues, Melbourne 15-14. 104. Ronnie DiUlio. Having a few words there to Jeff Farmer, who kicked 3 goals early on Matthew Hogg, all tied up inside the centre square. Again, they'll bounce it. Umpire John Harvey. Very impressive Melbourne side today. The forward line very, very strong. Strong midfield. White and Steins in the ruck. Pretty good side, the Demons. Kicked off the ground by Steins, Woden, another one of their impressive young players. Again, they make a contest of it and they'll ball it up. Still inside the centre square. Ratton climbs up off the ground. He's battled hard today, 21 possessions. So is Fraser Brown with 30, Justin Murphy with 17, but not enough winners for Carlton. It's been the Melbourne forward line that has been the big difference. There's Steins jumping before acceptances, getting into Porter. So the free kick goes to the youngster straight away, gives it across to Camporelli, pumps the ball inside 50, and there's Hines again, marking in front of Shanahan. Just in his second game of AFL football. Whitnell on the lead, it's been ignored. So the youngster, buoyed by his first goal in the game, is now having a crack at his second from 50. Distance is there, hasn't quite got the accuracy, and through for a behind.
Isn't it great to see a young kid that has been given the opportunity to play in the key forward post at centre-half forward, really come and present himself and find front position. And that's what Carlton really try to do in the forward half, to make every forward player come and meet the ball carrier, present themselves. And if you do get free of your man or get away from your direct opponent, it has to be used on the way through.
Crowd of 39,704 here today. See Matthew Collins take the mark and play on, and also see Melbourne cruise in the second half to what should be a very easy win. Tingay. No one at home, so he looked towards the boundary line while Woden tried to jump over Manton. That was unsuccessful. Manton did well to get it to Bradley. He's been quiet by his standards today, Bradley. Carl could have given away a free kick.
Exactly as he called it, Sandy.
Back it comes. It will come back.
And wasn't that terrific play by Glenn Manton back here across half back? Just that little deft touch to put his foot out at the right time, so it didn't allow Woden to run onto the loose ball.
Here's Anstey. Carlton looking to finish full of running and try and close the gap. Shanahan under pressure, gives it away to his skipper. Todd Viney spirals it up towards the centre wing. Mark initially was dropped, but able to recover is Adam Uze. Down he goes towards Neitz. He did get the hand pass away from Manton. Lyon comes in for assist. The two Melbourne boys, well, there could have been some extra talking there, because Silvani was able to pick it up and give it to Anstey. Camporelli gives it to Porter. Porter gives it to McKay. Carlton out of trouble again. Down towards right half forward, and that's okay. Good mark taken by Massey. Still a long way out is Chris Massey. Centering kick in towards half forward. No mark taken by Jeff White. Here's danger. Hogg around the body he goes. Into the forward line. Hines keeps it in play. Melbourne eventually conceding one behind.
15-14, 104 to 8-14, 62. Stephen Phoebe to bring the ball back for Melbourne. Been so impressive today. That third quarter, one of the best for the season, completely blew Carlton away. After leading by 10 points, they stretched it to 56. Leoncelli, a big improver also for the Melbourne side, along with a number of his teammates. Maybe not household names coming into the season, but certainly proven to be fine players. Hines pumps the ball again inside 50. Rice has got 2 to beat. Stephen Phoebe takes it over. Some happy Melbourne supporters. And why not? Just over 8 minutes of action left. And maybe they could be in the top 8 after this round of football. Some quick hands. They do it well across half-back. Jeff White just tumbles the ball forward, looking for Neitz. He's got Manton to beat, looking for a kind bounce. Doesn't quite get it. Got a touch of the fumbles as well. Finally, it trickles over the line. So the Carlton defence has certainly been under a lot of pressure. That onslaught in the third term started from the centre bounce, and they haven't recovered. Needs to do the ruck work. Beaten by Porter, who slaps the ball on. James McDonald spent a bit of time on the bench, being marked by Silvani. Goes for distance, heads towards the wing in front of the Great Southern Stand. Peter Dean, the veteran, comes over the top. He's kicked the goal today on screen, playing his 245th game. Been on and off the bench a few times. He's had a wonderful career.
Melbourne will soon start thinking of their battle next week against Port Adelaide. They've got the showdown still to come this week as Murphy gives it to Bradley. Bradley hugs the boundary line. It hasn't been one of his busiest days today, Craig Bradley. We certainly know what he's capable of. McKay over the line. With him is young McDonald, young James McDonald, 22-year-old. Dean Rice. Here's Leoncelli now. Melbourne goes streaming out of defence towards Matty Phoebe. He looks inside 50. The Demons threaten again in the shadows. Schwarz used the body, just held his opponent at bay. And he'll have a shot now for number 6.
Yeah, that's a terrific mark. A contested mark would go down the statistics. But that's just great body strength. Got Whitnell underneath the fly to the footy. Had the presence of mind to keep his hands free from the contest and take the easiest chest marks in the end. But that was terrific body work to get his direct opponent Whitnell underneath the fly to the footy.
Going for his 136th career goal, but he is away to the left. So it still stands at 5 for the day.
That's his first behind for today too, Sandy.
5-1.
5-1.
Yep.
5 straight in that third term. Silvani. Players have had a bit of trouble with the sun down at the punt road end of the ground. So he goes short, finds Manton. His hands full. A couple of occasions today. Again, short to Chris Massey. Just a youngster, looks to have ability, this boy, Mick.
Yeah, he's a good young kid. He's a very coachable KB, and one thing's for sure and certain, he'll play a lot of league footy.
So there's the high-leaping Jeff White. Was that a free kick, John?
Yes, I think it was, Kev. It was an unrealistic attempt to mark.
I would have thought so.
And not pay.
So McDonald to the square. He's hit the post. It was a great jump, but I don't think he had any chance of marking the ball.
And really the only criteria the umpires are given is whether or not this is a realistic attempt to mark. And you would have to say that...
Actually, he got a hand on it too. We must give him that. Must give him credit for getting a hand on it. Murphy pumps the ball back inside the centre square. It's a great kick. Anstey put his body on the line, taken away by Neitz. Finds Collins, who does well. Weaves himself out of trouble. Rockets the ball wide. Danger here for Carlton. Tingay runs to 50. It's a high ball. Way off target and out on the full.
One thing today that certainly impressed me, KB, has just been the Melbourne players in traffic, how all of them have got very sure hands and great awareness around that situation.
And they're a big side too, Melbourne, that look like they've got a lot of strength all over the field. There's not too many players, you know, who look a bit thin on it, Mick. They've got strength and size. Here's Woden. Rockets the ball to Schwarz in the pocket. What a goal! David Schwarz has booted 6.
And that really was great work by Shane Woden, wasn't it, to get the ball over to Schwarz, because there was really no contest there, but Shane Woden had the commitment to making it.
Yeah, Carlton, as we see here, trying to change direction coming out of defence. You've got to find someone unopposed. The ball was just kicked a little bit too high for Anstey to receive, but terrific play by Woden, as John Russo said. the tackle of Anstey actually probably brought the ball back for the kick to be kicked through the goals by Schwarz.
6-goal second half by David Schwarz. Fantastic performance. 112, plays 62. Inside the last 5 minutes, and Fraser Brown picks up another possession. He kicks it down towards half forward. Perhaps the coolest part of the ground in the shade. Tumbled over the back past Adam Uze, and one behind is the result. Scotty Camporelli, who has a birthday next Tuesday, turns 23. Not really the ideal present he wanted. Belting today. Leoncelli, short to McDonald. On all fours, he goes back again. Melbourne start their attack. Well, they were hoping to. But the veteran Peter Dean intercepts. Dean twists beautifully. He's playing like a first gamer. Gives it wide to a teammate there in Lock. Lock is under pressure. So too is Leoncelli. They're tired out there now. And there'll be a throw-in in the right forward pocket.
I just think from a learning point of view, Damien Lock's got to look at that situation. He's got tremendous speed across the ground, but more often than not, when he does get the footy at senior level, he doesn't spurt when he has a chance to really run hard and then break up play.
Garry Lyon, a standing ovation as Hines snaps, but he's off target. And yes, Lyon off. Well done, Garry Lyon. Another fine performance. He booted 5 goals. And Jim Steins is back out on the ground for the last couple of minutes of this game.
Smoker, who is making a bit of an impression himself with Melbourne this year. Just a handful of games with the West Coast, but he's a goal kicker. Pretty handy player, just strengthens their list. Here's Phoebe, Stephen Phoebe from the half-back line. Drills it, does well, finds Cowd, who is super quick. Onto the left boot, into the pocket. Schwarz comes out, but this time Bradley stands his ground and takes the mark. So Farmer was looking there for Bradley to play on. Jeff Farmer on screen also has booted 3 goals in the first half. Bradley kicks the ball to the wing, looking for Porter. Punched out by White. McDonald thought he was legged. Matthew Phoebe back to Stephen, his brother. Intercepted by White. So the Blues from the half-back line, a couple of youngsters combining. Hines goes to ground. Beaumont has been at full forward for parts of this game. Again, James McDonald back to Stephen Phoebe to the half-forward line. Schwarz is there. Manton goes up with one hand, traps it. Tries to break the tackle from Neat. Schwarz with strength, all tied up by Silvani. A loose ball. Pinched this time by Woden. Great vision. Finds Rigoni. Runs in directly in front. And hits the post.
.113 plays 63, 16-17. He'll have nightmares about that. Should have been a gimme. Not to be, however. Camporelli from the kick into Manton. Out of the back pocket in the shadows he comes to McKay. Looks towards centre wing. Not a good kick. In fact, there were 2 Melbourne players almost collided with one another. Steve Phoebe and David Neitz, both okay. White played on because that ball was touched. McKay's hand pass is almost beautifully stolen. This is Matthew Phoebe. Still a long way out. Delightful work by Phoebe, however. He's had a pretty good game. Centering towards the Wizard. Bounces clear. Viney, penetrating, searching hand pass. McDonald gets it away towards Smoker. Kicks blindly in towards full forward. And Whitnell takes a timely mark on the last line of defence. 113 plays 63. Whitnell short to Matt. Out of the back pocket he comes. Fraser Brown floats across the pack. McKay keeps it in play. Kicks towards centre wing. The mark is dropped by Beaumont. Stephen Phoebe's on his hammer. Pushed towards the line by Adam Uze. And over. Throw in. Guy Rigoni it is. A throw in. Almost down to the right half forward area for Carlton. 50 points in arrears. And Neil Danaher. Well, he's now at a stage, so long as Melbourne's winning, that he has to rely on other sides doing the right thing to ensure a spot in the final 8.
A relaxing day at the office after half-time for Neil Danaher, Mick.
Yeah, he hasn't had to do much in terms of making positional changes and being proactive to what the Carlton team have actually done.
Can afford to sit back, have a bit of a smile.
Not often
enjoy
you
the
see
last
that,
few
Kobe,
moments.
is it?
No, but it's a nice feeling when you can do it, let me
golly.
tell you. Camporelli taken over by Rigoni. They'll toss it back in. Under a minute left in this final term. They'll trouble a lot of sides, Melbourne. Very potent forward line, strong midfield, capable defence. Leoncelli taken away by Peter Dean to Fraser Brown's been Carlton's best player today, to McKay. Tries to centre the ball. And again, John Hines is there, but pushed through for a behind. 6 goals to David Schwarz, 5 to Garry Lyon, and 3 to Jeff Farmer, the main goal kickers for the Demons today. Uze looks for Jimmy Steins. Cross to Rowe Road from the half-back line, drills it, looking for David Neitz. Bit too much carry on the ball. Neitz gets it. Fires the ball inside 50. Here comes Jeff White from behind. Manton playing in front. The Wizard kicks it off the ground. Taken over by DeUlio.
DeLulio's done a relatively good job on Farmer since the Carlton team have made that change.
Well, he hasn't kicked a goal on him.
Second quarter, yeah, he's done terrific. His starting points have been good. He's been goal-side him. He's felt him. He's really done the real defensive tactic employed in it, a pleasing aspect for David Parkin.
Neat straight up and down. Smoker in trouble. Brown has the last kick of the day. Neil Danaher can smile. And so too can Greg Healy. Disappointment for Craig Bradley because Melbourne have recorded a most impressive win. Their second half outstanding. They slowed down.